So if we just pay very close attention to recent marketing for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, in it we can see that Marvel Studios Namor is going to be a major player in the MCU going forward. So the biggest theaters out there have the biggest standees and advertising for Black Panther and pretty much every other film. What's important here is if you look at this one, which is the big one that your biggest AMCs and Regals are getting, it's pretty impressive. But the devil is in the details in what we're about to talk about. Because if you look at the credits, something very interesting has jumped out at people, and that's the credits for Namor. Because if we look at it in detail, you will notice that his credit is introducing Tenoch Harada as Namor. Now what's important here is that he's getting a top billing credit, introducing credit. This, the last few times they used this, was supporting characters in the MCU that would go on to have bigger roles down the road. And using the term introducing means that this is our first introduction to this actor as this character who's going to have a major role going forward. Now, of course, this is probably a spoiler as well, meaning that he's not dying, but I don't think anybody thought Marvel Studios was stupid enough to kill off Namor, although we've thought that plenty of times with villains, and they had to do the job and put over whoever the hero was and completely get destroyed, so you never know. But I think this is honestly telling, because if you really think about it, Namor, one of the most important Marvel characters, and I mean Marvel, like as Marvel as a whole, before they were even Marvel Comics, Namor was, the big one. His sales were massive. He used to be a big name character, and then due to licensing in the late 90s, he kind of had to take a back seat to so many other characters because Universal held on to him. And now introducing him into the MCU and making him a big name player and also crediting the actor like this means that there's going to be some major things that Namor is showing up in. And honestly, the given ones are Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, but probably beyond that as well. I will not be surprised if we see him back for the likes of Black Panther 3 and whatever else they're doing, and inevitably probably a Namor movie if they've worked out those licenses. Because as I've suggested before, I think they're going to test out and see if the character, pardon the pun, but if the character doesn't sync, and if it's something that more fans want, they could greenlight a film. Again, we go back to the old way that they've treated other characters. First appearance, gauge interest, and then announce a spin-off. I think this could lead to that, and chances are they've probably seen something with Namor that they believe could drive interest, and certainly catering to a specific demographic which doesn't get a lot of love makes a lot of sense.